booster ignition, and liftoff, and all systems are go.
Welcome to the Lesbo and the Bean universe. Lesbo and the Bean. LaTB, LaTB, where mixed martial arts and the UFC get silly. Big silly. Buckle up and move your tray tables to their upright position. And please, somebody shut that baby up. It's time for Lesbo and the Bean.
Welcome back. 145. Little bit late. Still gonna be great. We got another show ahead. Another weekend off.
I felt like we almost, like, what was there to talk about? I almost had to wait to see what everyone was going to tweet about today. So we had MMA Convo.
And it's still a little bit thin.
It's still the same shit everyone's still talking about. Khabib and Conor.
And or Cormier / Derek Lewis, which again, Popeyes, I've seen other people starting to talk about, hey, Popeyes needs to get behind that Derek Lewis Cormier fight. Here, LaTB. We've been on it from day one.
Did Daniel hurt his hand?
It's been hurt prior to, but Daniel specifically has come out and said, against what fighter does my hand hurt? So if it was Stipe, oh, my hand hurts too much. If it's Derek Lewis, I think I could take that fight. I
hope he doesn't. I do. I would love it if Derek Lewis was the new heavyweight champ.
It would be American dream. I mean, and what am I saying? American dream. Daniel Cormier is as American as it gets. Olympian.
Yeah. It would be perfect. Derek Lewis, it could happen.
It could. And we say it here nonstop. Derek Lewis is the type of fighter. In the third round, he'll get you out of there. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. He's done it. I mean, he just came off of that type of a performance, but that's pretty much him.
Holly Holm was on Misha Tate's podcast.
I did not catch that.
I didn't listen to it
Happy
either.
birthday, Holly Holm. Belated happy birthday to the 36, 37, 38-year-old Holly Holm. I don't know how specific, what age.
29.
Oh, damn. My bad, girl.
29, girl. Looking 29.
Them legs look like they 29
Looking
years old.
29.
Them Winklejohn, 29.
Holly is one of those fighters for me personally that I hated, and then I respected, and then now I love her. She's one of my favorite women fighters. And I have to put it in that category because overall fighter, she isn't. But one of my favorite ladies at this point.
Interesting. I feel like I've grown away from her just because of everything we've talked about and seen over her career where she's pretty cold-blooded to the fans, refusing to sign autographs or just kind of gives fans the cold shoulder because she's an athlete and above that. She has that mentality. So I've heard.
I have met celebrities in my life that said grown-ups shouldn't need validation of meeting people.
Also a great point. Very, very good point.
I couldn't argue it. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. Now,
for a child, they'll take the picture, sign the thing.
Totally.
But for an adult, it shouldn't be. But I don't know.
I agree. I see that, and I've been semi-starstruck before.
For me, I love old dogs learning new tricks. That's important to me. And that her coming out with a wrestling game against Megan Anderson. What? I loved it.
It was a fun
but,
one.
In my opinion, Holly needs to cut her hair some. She doesn't need to cut it off at all. Keep it long AF. It doesn't need to be that long.
I've always thought that she looked like that bald type because she's got that long, fine blonde hair that I'm like, you could take all that hair away and she looked the same. All right, maybe not. Maybe I'm making that up.
No, Holly cut her hair.
But it's just thin and wispy.
It's thin.
It's thin.
It's just blonde hair.
It's long.
It doesn't. If it was layered, it would make it look thicker and it would look nice. I think she could feather it.
So there's so much going on in the MMA world. We're talking about Holly Holmes' thin hair.
Okay, that's not fair. But speaking of Jackson Wink, I do think it's fair to talk about John Jones. John Jones, everyone's excited. That's what she was talking about on Misha Tate a little bit.
Please, fill me in again.
I
didn't fill
just
in
the
that.
energy John Jones brings into camp. And having him back and is
anybody on cocaine's a good time for a little while.
Yeah.
In small doses for 2 hours of a camp, and you're like,
Right,
hey,
he's grown up. John Jones is in his 30s now. Sometimes what we do in our 20s is not what we would necessarily do in our 30s.
Good point. Good point.
Maybe it's a new John Jones. This is what
I
I
don't
think
know.
every time.
I was about to say the
This is what I
same
think
thing.
every time.
Burn me once.
This is what I think every time.
Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice, shame on me. Burn me 3 times, it's like, come on, man. And it's like 4 or 5 with John Bones Jones. So.
But why are we expecting any different?
That's also the thing. Which I love the argument to the whole Khabib Conor after fight argument is you see a fight when you pay money to go see a fight. Why are you upset? Like, why are you upset that someone jumped out of the ring and got in a fight? You paid money to come watch people fight. It's
as
an
long
extra.
as no one got hurt, it shouldn't be a big deal. The 2 fighters with another fighter, no less. Like somebody's another professional fighter.
That's been cleared already. He ain't got no germs. He ain't got that
Have
disease.
you heard Sam Tripoli's next show? If you are a conspiracy follower and aren't listening to Tinfoil Hat, it's a pretty fun podcast. We
Get on
talked
it.
about it on here with Sam Tripoli. He's gonna do Khabib connections and break down the entire conspiracy behind all the people that Khabib surrounds himself with.
Well, I was already going to listen to that, but regardless, it's going to be on high alert as soon as that one brings it down. Hopefully, he brings in, who's that journalist who actually has broken down a lot of those? Hopefully, he gets in contact with him. He ended up being on the Hawani show earlier, really breaking down, like, this dude has to not go to certain countries because, again, these are big players getting into MMA, being in ESPN. How do you feel UFC?
That was a burp breakdown.
So, how do you feel about the UFC now being on this higher level pedestal? Because I do feel like we have made it. We're in the top pay-per-views of all time, and there's only more to come. But we're in the news on ESPN. We're in TMZ. There's raps now. All this T Wood song, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and a bunch of other rappers have already signed on to do the remix because, you know, it was hot fire and it was burning your ears.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat your ass.
16 bars.
So, where do you think we are right now in UFC? Where are we to go? How do you feel?
I look around
we're doing?
looking for my cash.
Woo.
I look around looking for my grass. I said, did you smoke all my stash? Well, if you did, I beat that ass. I beat your ass. I don't even know the song.
That was pretty good. I was on that.
alright.
I was in on it.
I didn't write that down anywhere, and I couldn't do it again. Uh-oh. But good thing we're recording this.
Right. So, with the UFC, how much stock, if you were to buy some WME stock right now, how much would you save? Here that we like to put some money down, we like to tell people, hey, maybe this. Do you think that there's a projection that we're going to keep growing, or do you think it's capped out?
No, I think it's growing. I had a realization today that if Khabib, I don't think he will because he seems to fight for different reasons than Conor. But if he took a fight with Floyd, I think it would sell more than Conor's fight with Floyd.
Oh my God. I didn't want to talk about that because that is trash news.
It's trash. But the fact that
trash.
that could be bigger than Conor, and then Khabib could be talked about in that way. And I was looking at Khabib. He's a good-looking kid. He has, you know, one of the world's biggest religions behind him. It's kind of the same thing with this cult of personality like Conor. Like, he's playing this, like, he has a church of his own. But Khabib's not that person. He has a whole different, and he wants to bring a purity back to the sport. That's why I don't picture him doing that. But even Floyd talking about Khabib is just, his followers must be ticking up more and more every day. I don't know. I think their stock is rising. And I think if he fights Tony Ferguson, if people can finally see the cool freak. I see Tony Ferguson is the fighter that me and Tony Ferguson smoke a joint and go to Comic-Con. Like, we dress up
Do you
as
think
characters.
Tony Ferguson smokes some? I don't think he
No,
does.
but maybe in
I
his
think
off
he's
time.
straight edge. I think he's CM Punkish.
Even if he doesn't have to smoke, I'll smoke, and I will dress as characters, and I think he'd totally nerd out on like a Comic-Con. He seems like Tony is geek chic, and you just have to get into his vibe.
Perfect Tony. This is what I would picture Tony would go to Comic-Con as. You know the fighter in Mortal Kombat who has knives for arms?
I don't remember.
He's like a mutant with knives for arms. I can't think of his name. It's something crazy. But that's who he would show him at. Yeah, that would be dope because he slice you up all over your face.
It's not one of the guys with this.
No, it's not. It's not the typical.
Sub-Zero.
It's not Sub-Zero or
It's
Scorpion.
not Johnny Cage.
No, it was one of the later
Sonya.
editions. Good character. There needs to be a remake. There needs to be a remake. I think we should definitely get on
That
a
would be
new
a
Mortal
fun thing,
Kombat.
I think, for us to tweet out is we should cast our Mortal Kombat with the top characters next episode.
Ooh, I like it.
And any of our fans who want to get it to us in any way at Lesbo and the Bean on Gmail or Twitter, and they can give us their cast. It gives us a little bit of homework, but just the original, like 5 characters, what UFC people would play Mortal Kombat.
Would play those. Is there some people that are automatically injected in there via the Angela Lee or who is it? Curtis Blades coming out to Mortal Kombat. He's come out multiple times in Mortal Kombat and regularly cites that on his Twitter. So does Angela Lee, all dressing up to Comic-Cons and stuff like that.
Angela Lee could totally be in my Mortal Kombat.
Right?
You know who else in my Mortal Kombat, because it would be an updated version,
Okay.
Johnny Cage would be Mike Perry.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
But I want it like the Mike Perry character.
Right, okay.
You know, it'd have to come with a little thug, a little platinum style. Yeah, I'd have to go through it. I have to
So we're definitely going to get back to you because I do need to break it down a bit more.
Oopsie.
So,
look at how little there is to talk about.
The combat sports world,
Mortal
something we
Kombat
can talk about.
Better than Holly Homehair talking about it.
A little bit better because
We're
this
getting
is something that I got stuck on that over the weekend when we did hang out, I brought this up to you and it got me still. But Deontay Wilder showing all of his rage on a poor burrito on ESPN Espanol. Supposedly, the mascot, or burrito mascot, I don't even know what happened, but they said, hey, Deontay Wilder, go ahead and punch this guy either right here in the body or right in the face. And before the burrito said not in the face, he got a straight right hand as hard as Deontay Wilder. Good punch, broken jaw. And it still makes me laugh thinking about it.
Oh my gosh. Did he really break his jaw? I was wondering if that was a conspiracy.
Deontay Wilder himself said he commends the brave person who was in the suit that was deciding to take the punch, but he does not believe that the jaw is broken. And I have not officially seen any x-rays or anything, which a lot of people like that would put out. So it is speculation on a broken jaw. I don't give a damn about a broken jaw. I guarantee you that burrito was out.
I feel like you talked about that.
Already again?
But
it got me.
It's an update.
It still gets me. I'll watch that today. And it'll make me that poor burrito got knocked out.
I know. I've been watching a show called Age Gap or something on Netflix, and it's about people who are in love that have like a 2-decade age
The
gap.
grossest show on Netflix. There is some gross. We tried to watch it and then it was like, I don't want to watch this. There's some gross on both sides of it. People that are like pretty much dying that are like, I just wanted to find love. And it's like, you're going to have a heart attack. And so were you for other reasons, unrelated. And now you're together.
You made it kind of deep to make it to those people.
We tried. Yeah, we did. I think we might have finished the season, but it was dirty. It was dirty. I had to take a little evening shower afterwards, just kind of.
I don't even know how we fell on it. Maybe you told me. Maybe you said it on the show.
No, I think that was a repressed memory where I was just like reliving it. I'm like, oh, there's a dirty old blonde lady with huge hooters that has a lot of young boyfriends.
I think you did tell us.
Yeah, I might have, and was like, if you want a cringe fest, woo, get on it. Get on the age gap.
It's pretty. The lady's eyeliner.
It's trash.
And it's UK. It's all UK. There's like an American couple that they go to, and the guy's an actor in Florida.
Oh, I can't remember that much. It was a while ago.
Yeah, back to fighting.
Back to fighting. Have you actually seen how many people have been coming in for the GOAT? The number one all week long up until the fight against Michael Johnson. Artem Lobov getting a big push from the fans.
Oh, I wonder if that's our push. Scoot back a little.
Me, little Lobov getting after him against Michael Johnson.
Yeah, we always push the GOAT.
Always. And I love just the backhandedness of it all. It really makes me
giggle. Oh, have they been having Twitter war?
Nope, not at all.
I thought you were talking about number change.
No, I'm just talking about fans putting up like, Artem Lobov stepped in there 22 times. Only 14 men have been able to best him. Michael Johnson doesn't stand a chance against the GOAT. I love it. I mean, hey, you get in there via Conor McGregor. If you get in there and last as long as Artem has, you're bound to be a champ somewhere. And hammer fisting in there.
When is that fight?
It's not the 27th. I think it's November 4th.
Yeah.
There's been so many changes going on.
That's the UFC,
so many updates.
MSG.
Speaking of which, we had USADA all up in our business again as of late, where Brad Scott has taken a 2-year suspension for cocaine, a recreational drug that was caught in his system, not performance enhancer. It is posted as a recreational substance that is not deemed fittable under USADA's guidelines. As Bradley Scott, we've seen he's taking these 2 years automatically, but from what we've seen with Tom Lauder, and I still can't think, is it Jordan Johnson, the other fighter, who was let go right before his suspension was up? Do you think that Brad Scott's just gonna exit, maybe retire, or wait those 2 years? Because I think he's like 37, 38.
Shit, I have to be honest. If I popped on something and had to wait 2 years per UFC, I think I would jump ship.
You'd retire, because that's what they say.
I would retire and go to, some
just
other
grappling
fight organization and do that. Like, I go to Japan and fight. I do like Eddie Alvarez.
Which, that is official. Was it speculation that we were just talking about on the last show?
I don't remember. I think you said that right at the end of the podcast.
But it was speculation. Still, it has officially come out.
He said it out of his own mouth, yeah.
Well, he posted a video of him signing the contract saying, "Here I come." And again, as we said before, it's the perfect spot for him. He could still be in the title contention in the UFC, or just get really easy fights for maximum amount of cash now that he's built this name. But you got a Bellator champ, a former Pancrase champ, a former UFC champ. What is there left to do for Eddie Alvarez? And other than make that moolah.
Yeah, make a good amount of money to be able to retire for his kids, take minimal amount of damage, and it just makes fighting that much bigger. Eddie Alvarez, I can't imagine anyone going to an Eddie Alvarez fight and not being a fan of fighting when they leave. He's like one of the guys. The Underground King.
I totally agree. And how many Asian fans are now going to be like, oh, the UFC? They might have some good guys, because I'm sure there's some hardcores that we don't know of in some shack just like, I only watch Asian MMA. Best fighters in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Like,
watch Asian.
Exactly. All that mixed breed gender. I don't watch
Eddie
that.
Alvarez, he is Underground King.
I love the stereotype. I love that. It was a good accent.
I try to.
We try here at LaTB.
Like if I was myself in Asia, and I was just watching fighties somewhere.
We only hate if it ain't great, and that was great.
Everybody gets the same.
So, what we forgot to cover in that Bellator match over Sonnen, over Fedor,
Somewhere there is an Asian going, I lesbian, I have carabiner. And look I do. In fact,
I have a carabiner.
and my own stereotype.
And here in Florida, you don't know when that's going to come in. You might have to lasso a gator or pick someone up out of a car.
Or get a sinkhole.
True.
This is my sinkhole survivor.
That's
You never
a good
know.
point.
You might have to latch on into your bedroom. It might be the frame of your bed just to stay alive.
If the anacondas don't get you
And
before that.
a little lesbian tip, but maybe it's like a military tip too, or other man tip.
Life
I don't
tip.
know. But I'll just tell you a lesbian tip. Lesbians carabiners, if you look at them, they're usually, you know how most carabiners says this is not for climbing. Lesbian carabiners all say, you can climb with this.
They're like rock climbing
Yeah, like mine
carabiners.
says climb X. It can hold like
185 pounds.
or
Oh,
something. Me and my pack.
damn. She got that heavy duty.
Me and my pack.
Dang. You're
Clip
willing to
in.
put all, you're going to clip in you and all your pets.
You never know. You might be in a place where bridges go up. You got to get across. You got to get across. Hold on. Zzz.
Lesbo always ready for her Die Hard moment. I love it.
You never know.
I love it because gotta stay prepared.
You gotta stay prepared. This is America.
You don't know when freaking Connor's cronies are gonna come in, and all of a sudden
It's
you got a bunch of
America.
Khabib hooligans.
And you gotta slide from the 3rd story down an escalator. Zzz. That's the noise that it makes when you slide on a carabiner.
Also, a great, spot on. I knew what it was. No explanation needed. But any other combat information going on over the week?
there
We
has
have
to
more
be.
PFL coming up this weekend. That's going to be it until the 27th when we have that Olenek fight coming from, I can't remember the exact point or place right now because we're going to have a whole nother show to get to that. I don't even think it's the
you-
UFC.
George St. Pierre versus Khabib at 160. Who would you have?
So GSP is back in the news, and I'm going to say Khabib just because GSP has always been a really, really good... Ooh, never mind. 3rd round, Connor didn't do bad in the striking. You did see that dramatic drop-off of takedowns, and you've seen it in every fight here for Khabib. That 3rd round is not the same. I'm going to still go Khabib, but that's a way closer fight than I thought.
I got GSP.
Woo! We got ourselves a fight, ladies and gentlemen.
I just changed my mind right now because
But-
I was thinking, you're right on all that. GSP has killer cardio going in. Plus, he is huge. The bigger guy usually wins. Like the guy that's naturally that much bigger, he's a big, huge guy.
Oh, yeah.
And going down that much weight, plus he's a pretty okay wrestler.
Exactly.
I think he has great striking.
I think it's the cardio. That's the thing that's really going to be that big. And not, I mean, Khabib has a phenomenal cardio as well.
And
But
GSP has leg kicks.
what I think is the most telling thing about the whole community talking about this GSP Khabib fight proves how much everybody's like, fuck fighting Tony Ferguson. I'll fight GSP all day because guess what? GSP is by far, win or lose, a close fight, but an easier fight than Tony Ferguson.
I'm making a plea for Tony Ferguson right now. My boy, my favorite fighter, is 37 years old. He doesn't have a lot of fights left in him as much as his heart will want to do it. Once he's chinny, he'll be chinny forever. Once it's broke, it won't be the same again. Maybe the knee, maybe it's now. So I feel like he has like 2 great fights left in him. And he has to wear the real belt. He's an amazing, such a
The real belt?
well-rounded. Yeah,
For Tony.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I think Tony's the best.
I agree.
I love Tony.
I love Tony as well. And that is just so many fun fights ahead of us in that welterweight, lightweight division, mixed all around. That's why we need a 165 division. To kind of segue, still stay in the combat community forum, we have a late breaking fight. Juan Adams versus Chris De La Roca at Fox 31 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, December 15th. That's officially, we were talking about the Kragan a few times. We brought up his name saying, hey, we need this guy to fight. He got one of the most advantageous fights in the UFC. Here, I've been heavily set against De La Roca for a long time. Car salesman, wrestler, fighting off of his old accolades against a D1 beast. You know how I'm going to be leaning. As soon as that line opens up, it doesn't matter what it is with Juan Adams. You better put money on it against De La Roca, no matter what it is. I don't care if it comes out 500 to 1. Juan Adams is winning that fight easily in the first round. Going to be all over the DraftKings. The breakdown, you heard it here first.
And Elias Theodoro.
Who did he officially sign to fight over the weekend?
Anders? Is that it?
I did see that fight officially.
Am I making that up?
Nope.
No.
But
Okay.
what is that for? Is that for that Canada card?
I think so.
I did see that.
I don't know. Yeah, I imagine because Laprisi's on the same card. Avin Mercier. Yeah, it has to be. It's got to be the Bullet Valentina versus.
That's what I was thinking as well, which is such a fun one coming down the line. But time to see the ring boy come in there and step up against the talented fighter. Is it going to be at 185 or 205? Because Anders just fought at 205, but it was short notice against Silva, where he lost all muscle control.
That's a dangerous fight, in my opinion, for Elias.
85 matters, though. Do you think it's at 85 or 205? Because Elias, has he moved up to 205
I think it's
in a
at
couple
85
fights?
because the only reason it was at 205 because they were both on short notice and they that's it. So I think it's definitely at his whatever. Yeah, Elias at 185.
No, he's never fought at 170. Yeah. But he's always been not the cuttest guy in the world. How have we done, though, on that ring man Invicta star, Derek the Black Beast Lewis? Did we get any traction with that over the last week and a half?
I don't remember if we put it out or not.
I don't think we did. I think we did talk about it on our last show that we should have pushed it. I need to get something together. It's on much as me as anyone, so my bad for letting you guys down. I need to crop together a couple things and really start pushing. Derek Lewis, though, being in the media so much right now, it might be hard for him to get that ring man status.
The next fight Mike Perry wants after Cowboy are Darren Till and Robbie Lawler.
There's so many fights that I could see any of those fighters, again, mix them all up together and let's fight them. Do think Robbie Lawler's, though, is on his tail end, but I've been saying that for a year and a half of his career, so I think Robbie Lawler's in that point where he doesn't fight up-and-comers anymore. He fights established fighters for the top dollar.
It's a good guy to have on your... One good win for... If he beats Cowboy, he could be on that Robbie Lawler track. For some reason, if you beat Cowboy, you can fight for the interim belt.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That is very, very true. That happens too often than not. I got nothing else. I feel like I went over the topics. I never tap. Unless I do tap. Which, if you catch the Bean on Twitter at Zoltanite or at Zoltan on Instagram. Is that official?
Yep.
Wow.
December 29th on the same Jones versus Gustafsson.
Wow, I did not know about that one.
With Cyborg Nunes and Duquesnoy versus Woods.
Before we get into that real quick, the Titan FC fight where you see the graphic injury, I did post it on my Twitter. If you want to see something that'll make you go, bleh!
No.
I know. I posted.
Tell me about it in the least graphic way.
It turned into a armbar from.
Okay, nope. I know exactly what happened.
Yeah, and that arm went out 30 seconds before. I would like to place a little bit of blame on the ref as well because.
What else are you paying attention to if not that spot in the arm?
Exactly right. You immediately pay attention to the joint that is in danger, and 30 seconds before that arm was already machetated over. And then it kept going, and finally, at Titan FC, they turned over, and his arm was just, woo! Made my stomach hurt a little bit, but...
Oh, my God.
Definitely get on that Twitter before that.
That made my toes curl.
Back to Chiesa versus Condit. Unfortunately for Condit, I was looking to fade Chiesa the more it gone, but this is going to be at 170, actually. Never mind.
Yep. Chiesa's
Never
first
mind.
fight at 170.
Because he did miss weight. This does
He's been
change it.
struggling.
Michael Chiesa has limited striking. Carlos Condon has great striking, but it's all about those knees for Condon and that mileage adding up for Condon. He just hasn't looked the same in a long time, and unfortunately, Michael Chiesa, I think, is going to be able to get a win against just more of someone who's been in it for a little too long. Where in his prime for prime, I would pick Carlos Condon, but I don't think. I think it's somebody, Michael Chiesa, in his prime compared to somebody who's more faded at this point in their career.
I might feel like loser goes home. I might feel like loser goes at least somewhere else.
I could see that for Condon. I couldn't see that for Chiesa just because I think he's fought a little higher caliber. But I know what you're saying. I'm not mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
Higher caliber than Condon?
Lee, he just lost to Lee. Lee's top.
Condon's lost to like
3
Lawler. Like the guy's Condon.
Yeah, but he's
lost
like
to
on a
are,
4-fight
huge.
losing streak.
Against
monsters.
Monsters.
Ah, good point. Good point. I love me some Carlos Condon. Always top for the most handsome UFC fighters in the game.
I'd like to pull up who his last 4 fights were. Let's see.
Top notch. Was it Alvarez?
Condit.
He's had a couple legacy fights as of late. I feel like it was Thiago Alves. Maybe he fell out of it because those knees, again, since his early days, have been just absolutely shot. You can't count on them.
Okay. Alex Oliveira.
Win or loss? Loss.
Loss.
Yeah, exactly.
Guillotine choke submission.
Yep.
Alex Oliveira, we always say, is a sneaky monster.
Yep.
Neil Magny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? All the guys he's lost to, I'm fading them too. Because Neil Magny, Damian Maia, and Robbie Lawler.
In Carlos Condon's prime, he would be.
His last one was in 2015.
Yeah. In his prime, he'd be Chiesa, but he's not in his prime anymore. And I don't think he can be Chiesa at this point of his career. It's a betting move. It's not a heart play because I want Carlos Condon to win. I love me both of them. Both of these guys tend to be underdogs who do fairly well.
I'm pulling out Michael Chiesa because I think he's only lost to Lee, right? No, he's lost 2 fights in a row.
He's lost a couple fights in a row now. I believe an armbarred Pettis as well. Or some sort of submission loss
Anthony
to Pettis.
Pettis, submission triangle.
Yeah, there it is.
But I'm fading Anthony Pettis hard AF.
So I don't think
I
it's
love
bad.
him, but I don't know if it's emotional yet because Kevin Lee's not on any kind of. Well,
I think Kevin Lee looked good though. I think
love
Kevin Lee looks good.
love
Kevin Lee
Kevin
looks
Lee.
good.
He's one of my faves. Beneil Dariush, rear naked choke.
Yeah, I love me some Dariush even though he's had some bad
but not
ones.
at 155.
Truth.
Jim Miller, rear naked choke.
Mega fade.
Mitch Clark.
Also been a big fade ever since then.
And then he lost to Joe Lozon.
You know how we play here at LaTB. I play for keeps. I'm trying to keep my cash. We're not.
That might be a
it's
big
hard.
old stay away. That fight.
No, I think it's Chiesa all day is what I'm saying. Unfortunate fight. You got anything left?
I guess not.
We're going to be back on Sunday.
Thanks for sticking
Fun
with
day.
us if you made it all the way to the end. And if you enjoyed the show, I don't know if we can string together anymore. I don't know if there's anything else.
Not for this
Any
one.
other fight news?
But
No.
there'll be more.
There is fights, though, coming up. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
So much fun. The 27th, right around the corner. We're going to get there. Maybe we'll end up splitting it up and doing the prelims, or is that pay-per-view only? Because I don't believe it's a pay-per-view this next coming up.
Yeah, it depends on how good the card is. Sometimes we fly through
Yeah,
too fast.
well, there's some European fighters.
Yeah, we probably keep it all. Oh, we love European fighters. And we love our European fans. And we love all of you guys. So thanks for listening.
Let's move the beat!
Thanks for listening to LaTB. For all things Lesbo and the Bean, head over to lesboandthebean.com or follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.